We are live from Daytona International Speedway for more HSR money racing tonight. Smaller field than what we normally see. I believe that's a lot of people wanted to go and watch the spinning races. I don't blame them, as I'm absolutely worn out. Decided last night it would be a good idea to get about five-ish hours of sleep. I'll make a mental note to not do that again, because that was one of the worst decisions I have ever made in the past year. But is a smaller field. It looks like it's going to be 15 drivers. I believe if Andrew is not race control, it'll be 15. If he is, it will be 14 drivers tonight here, but definitely a lot smaller. And I actually, I'll make an announcement here. Well, I'm already here. I will not be doing the normal broadcast that I do on Sunday. I am branching out and doing a one-time thing. It is a Atlanta Super Speedway race that will be 400 miles. That will be a very long race, but guys have already done basically all their pits. That was actually the end of qualifying. I timed it up pretty much as well as I could for you all to get all stuff out there, so I don't have to see me just talking and rambling on. We're at the starting grid here first. David McGuire, he is first. Kenneth Stamper second. Christopher Carter third. Kerry Whitaker fourth. Trevor Oceanroth fifth. Austin Green sixth. PJ Luttrell seventh. Eighth is Ron Morris Jr. Ninth, Autumn Kroger. 10th, Brian Bussard. 11th, Nathan Harper. 12th, Ian Martin. 13th, Braxton DeWeese. 14th, Andrew Santo. And 15th is Derek Raleigh. So that's the starting lineup tonight. The race was shortened. It actually to be a new lobby was set up just for these guys because I believe it was set for like 70-something laps earlier, and they decided that was just a little bit too long, and I don't blame them for that at all. It would have been really difficult to commentate, especially with a small field. It's normally a lot bigger, but tonight they just didn't have drivers that came out. But you see the 6 of Austin Green there. Nice paint scheme. Looks like got 2 6s on him, though. You can see some litter hiding behind that. He's got a stamp truck that's wanting to show through just a little bit here. See Ian Martin, he's loaded in. We're waiting on about like 4 drivers. David McGuire, Braxton DeWeese, Andrew, and Autumn. Waiting on them to load in here very shortly, and then they will get the green flag the next time they come by, and it'll be underway. HSR is kind of, they started to pick up something where they're getting these really good finishes, and they're really interesting races most of the time. It's not really I'm not even going to say that because they will curse them. But they did switch up the track. It is Daytona. They normally run Talladega. Daytona is kind of the problem child, too. Is what I've seemed to have noticed when they come and run here. As that was. Got. Oh, when I was younger, I had braces and I have retainers in my mouth. So if y'all hear something breaking in my mouth, that's not me. It's probably me. Somehow popping my retainers out and messing with them as I tend to do that. So hopefully I don't do that on you all. Don't believe I saw the 2. Sorry, the low. Who is the 2? That's Autumn Kroger. Keep on wanting to say Kroger. Kroger's a local grocery store near us. I keep on wanting to say that. I believe everyone that's needed to load in has loaded in here. Yep, they have. So Andrew, he is race control, I believe. Yeah, he probably is. We'll need to message Taryn here real quick. Go ahead and tell him that we'll be doing that. It'll actually be the next gens on Sunday at Atlanta if the dude ever does respond to me. As I love, oh, you talk about loving the next gens. I hate Daytona. That's where they're at this week. I've already lost 600 IR from one wreck. I thought the dude was gonna come up the track, and he did. Then he let go of his brake, and I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. But I think every single race I've been there, I have been wrecked, literally. And there's nowhere I can go. So I despise this track right now. I definitely despise this track for sure. It's going to be a 906. He's going to lead me green. He's going to have the 30 of Kenneth Stamper to his outside. The 17 of Christopher Carter. He is going to be on the bottom. The 23 of Kerry Whitaker on the outside of him now. 89 of Trevor Oceanroth will have some gas outside of him. He will have the 6 of Austin Green. Pace truck's going to pull off here. Unlike real life, this track is not wet. These guys are ready to go racing here. in the daytime. Green flag's in the air now. 906 gets a good start. 30 is kind of very far there with nobody around him, so he's going to have to hope that see what the 89 does. 89 is his teammate. The 17 hops up too, so they leave that 906 out to dry. He's going to have to hope that 6 can get to his back bumper pretty quick. It's going to take him a little bit, but this 30 is getting a shove from the 17 behind. The 89 just kind of watching him right now. You can't really bump when you're the third car in line. You really want to give that car in front of you a good arrow shove off the corner. So they are migrating to the bottom lane. They were kind of like hesitating there if they wanted to go down. They decide to, but like Oceanroth, he goes up top, so he's going to try to get to the outside of the 17 of Christopher Carter. I believe he will be able to get to the outside of him really soon. Let's see, how close can he get to the outside of him? He's kind of stalled out that 17. If he wants to come up now, he needs to come up to cut that runoff at that 89 will get here anytime soon. I think 89's actually on his core. Oh, he's right there close to his quarter panel. Not there just yet. These guys decided to ride in the back, and I don't blame them. You don't really need to be up front most of the time. It's kind of like, might as well just drive like this. You got Choo-Choo Train on the bottom right now. The 30 is getting a shove from the 17. The 89 is getting a shove from the 23. Whitaker trying to get on his bumper as best as he can. Trying to give him all the get up front. If I'm not wrong, I believe that Deweese's Rampage is probably in here. We'll see where he is at. He's way off the pace. He is 6 seconds behind, so he's probably going to go down the lap. He must have just lost the draft a little bit, but that 23 is getting a good, or yeah, sorry, 23 shoving the 89 really good. The 11, Brian Buster's also going to come up there and help carry. Can't really bump him. He can just give him more of a kind of an arrow shove going through the corner. He doesn't really want to touch him. Because if he does, that will end up incredibly bad for drivers. And I've had that, saw it happen multiple times throughout my time of calling these super speedway races. The 89 is getting a good shove from the 23. The 11's like looking back, he's kind of hurting him doing this. He needs to get up there as best as he can. As he's probably trying, he's probably got his foot to the floor. He just doesn't have a pusher behind him. That's one thing that you got to watch. Like, you want somebody to be lined up behind you because you're having to run full throttle most of the time. It's actually pretty hard to catch up with that pack here. I'm just going to swap and spots right now currently. Like Andrew, he must have missed something, so he is racing tonight. He's going to be the 15th driver. Not sure what happened with him. Yes. He's running a train on the bottom. That top line's gotten some more people with him, but they're not really going anywhere right now. Kind of stalled out with the 89. 30's getting off the bottom a little bit. He's got to be careful with making those little micro moves, because I saw drivers kind of wash up into people, and that will make some drivers very, very, very mad. But I hopefully will not see that here tonight, because that will just be that'll be an awkward moment there. But that 23's been giving the 89 a good shove, getting him out in front of Kenneth. Now the 17's not been really giving the 30 bumps at all. That's one big thing that the difference between these two lines. One's been bumping, one has not. They're running about 49 laps here currently. As Deweese, I think he finally does have a drafting partner. I believe Andrews, yeah. Him and Andrew have kind of hooked up back here. They are 22 seconds off the big pack, so they're in a very hard position. They might lose more time here. Hopefully Deweese doesn't hook Andrew. Back up here. The 89 lost ground again on that outside. Just not able to hold the line like he needs to. It's kind of, it's not an easy thing. You think when you want to bump somebody, you got to be pretty much lined up. Now, with these trucks, you can get away with bumping people a little bit harder because the front end of them are pretty flat no matter what manufacturer you get. Now, when you get to the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, the Fords have the advantage on the super speedways, but the Chevys do not because of that pointed front end. And the Toyotas kind of have a point in front, and also, but the Chevys are probably one of the worst vehicles to have for pushing because it's just pointy. There's no flat end on that bumper at all. They're still going at it. I will go on board with a 906. Let's see what it looks like when they're riding through the back of the pack. See, he's keeping a pretty steady line throughout all of that. And exactly where he needs to most of the corner. He gets off the bottom there a little bit as I'm talking about him, as that probably was timed by him. It seems like whenever an announcer starts talking about a driver, something always happens with him. But the 89, he's trying to make the outside work. He surges and he falls back again. So he's trying to make it work, but doing this, he does kind of have to keep in mind that his fuel is going to be burned a lot more than these guys that are running behind him. These guys that run behind him are probably getting to run maybe a little bit less than half throttle most of the time. He does have to keep that in mind. He might want to tuck back and draft with these guys. I'll tell y'all what. One thing about retainers that I cannot stand is the feeling that it gets in your teeth. Your teeth get like dry. It's weird. It tries to trap water, but it doesn't. Like, it just makes your mouth dry. And I never have understood that. Oh, Whitaker gets him moving around. He saw the rear end of his truck shake there. He gave him a bump in the corner, and it didn't really like it. Bumping through the tribals, not something that drivers should be doing. That's kind of something that always tends to end up bad, but he made it work there. See if the 30 goes down. He's going to continue to run that top side. They would come down, but he's like, I'll stay up there with these guys. I don't want to do it just yet. Whitaker, he's definitely feeling more comfortable shoving the 89 now on that top lane. Got to be lined up perfectly. You can get hooked incredibly easily. I've saw it happen multiple times. Drivers, you just catch that quarter panel and you go right around. He's been fighting the whole time. He's not been letting that 30 really run this race. I don't know if he can hold it though, because he surges and then he goes right back behind about 2 trucks sometimes. I think in the corners where they're losing most of their speed, they're able to hold it most of the time down the straights. But that 2's looking to put it 3 wide. That's Autumn back there. She thought about it, backed out of it. I think she had more of a run than those. Oh, we got somebody around. That's 89. He goes through a truck and now they're wrecking. This is an odd crash. I can't see who's wrecking half the time. 17, 6 is in it. 6 just engine just expired. There's the yellow flag. That's probably one of the weirdest crashes I think I've ever saw there. The truck disappeared, so that was weird. We'll go on the 89 of Trevor Oceanroth. I think he gets hooked by Kerry Whitaker. Yep, he gets hooked there. Goes through people, net codes, and they kind of all wreck after that. We'll go look at the 17. Or sorry, not 17. That is... I believe I'm looking right over the driver here. Here he is. Right, it's a 25 this race, which is a stamp to the 17. So that's a weird crash. They all kind of just net code after that too. Get some 906, get some. Ooh, the 6 smacks the 17. That really just makes it expire the 17. Not holding his brake, backs it into the wall. Might have gotten away with a little damage if he was just holding the brake for a little bit longer, but I'm going to bring on a caution here. I'll see everybody coming to pit road. Some drivers are going to have to be forced to use their fast repair, as I am not getting the chat here. There it is. I have no idea why it wasn't reading on my tablet. I had to just close my chat and go back up on it. I do expect every driver to come down pit road. Nobody should be staying out here. Is a kind of be, no, not a bad call, but I wouldn't do that. I'd come down and, well, actually it would be a very bad call. I'd come down, get even on fuel, know that I can go to the end and, or not go to the end, at least go with these other guys. I'm stumbling over my words here. As I'm telling you what, I'm getting to the, like, y'all ever, well, I'll wait till these guys pit to start rambling on here. Everybody can get in their pits where you can overslide if you want to. It's not going to hurt you. See, this is kind of a blessing for Andrew and Braxton. Luis, I believe he's waiting on somebody to catch up to him. I believe he's waiting on Christopher Carter. Yep. He's waiting on Christopher to pass him. Nope, looks like he go in pit road now. But that kind of saved Braxton. Be able to get up with these guys now. As all these guys are going to be doing these caution laps, I will go on a commercial break here. Lights are out here on the pace truck, so they will be going green this time by. Kenneth Stamper is going to be leading him. Looks like we got some drivers that are catching up. They're coming off pit road, topping off on fuel. As we got people, yeah, they're definitely topping off. They do have time to catch these guys. They're only on the back stretch, so hopefully they'll catch them in time. That would be very bad for this far spread out coming to the green. I don't think they will be. Hopefully, at least. Ron, he has some damage from that incident also. Elects not to use his fast repair. Kind of surprised by that. Hopefully he doesn't have engine damage. He definitely does have some splitter damage, so that's going to slow him down. This race, Austin, he is in pit road, not taking his fast repair. He's still sitting in here. But anyway, they're going to get green this time by. Lights are off on the pace truck. Single file restart. I'm not sure they're going to go green this time. Nope, I guess they are. Single file. This is surprising. Kenneth's going to lead him in green. He's going to have 71 of Derek Raleigh behind him. Ron is going to be all alone with nobody to the outside of him here. Find a way in line relatively soon, because if he doesn't, that's going to be weird for him. Looks like everybody. See Andrew and Braxton. They're becoming full speed on these guys. They got a late start, but they are gaining a very considerable amount of time on these guys, saying that they did have basically a running start going to the green, or going to the start-finish line. They're shaving off a lot of time from them, but it's going to be hard if these guys get lined up, especially they're not going to. Though looks like the 11 jumps up outside. He's got his teammate and PJ. I thought I was going to pass him there. Sorry, not PJ. Yes, that is PJ. I'm so messed up on names. You got 3 teammates on the top, 1 teammate on the bottom. He's going to hope that Ron Morris Jr. can get to him, because if he doesn't, he's going to kind of be in that hard position. I don't think Ron is going to be the best pusher right now with the damage that he has currently. But Andrew and Luis, they got to be really shoving to get. Now their goal right now is pretty much catch Derek Raleigh and help Raleigh catch Carter, and then hope that draft can get you out there to the rest of this pack. They're definitely making some moves up here right now. Split it 2 lanes wide. Gosh, tell you what. Tap water does not taste very well. Side note. But, let's see. Looks like they've gotten the draft, or they're going to get the draft of Raleigh, because these guys are real. Oh, there goes Andrew. These guys are really shoving, so they're definitely going to get the draft of Derek, because Andrew's blinking in and out. Here, Braxton does not want to see this. Will Braxton go with Andrew? I do not think he will. They both just shot out of a cannon, though. Andrew's going to pass 3 guys on the outside. He's going to try to get this top lane working with these guys. He can hop down. No, he can't hop down in front of Enoch. It's over. What in the world? Where does Andrew come from with all this speed? Okay. I have no... What in the world was that? I don't think I've ever saw somebody pass that many people on a super speedway like that. I mean, that was effortless. What? We're going to have to go back and watch that before this race is over. Andrew's having connection issues, so all that might be invalid if he has to go to the back for that blinking that he has. Pops up every now and then, as I know his pain. It was iRaces that blinked all the time until I got point broadband, and yes, he will have to go to the back. I believe Taryn told him that. So all that work he did was basically for nothing. That was still very impressive from him. Nathan Harper's on the bottom, trying to work with these guys. Right now he has Kerry Whitaker with him. Trying to look at something here very quickly. That's not what I need. Define 14 go. Sorry, 14, 13. So soon being 14. The most of the races is going to go to the outside. Harper's got Whitaker with him. They got Ron Morris Jr. Ron Morris has been able to kind of hang up here. Thought the damage would affect him more than what it has, but it hasn't so far as Braxton. He's looking on Ian. He decides to hop in line. Ian goes outside. We'll see if Braxton follows him. He will not. He'll kind of stay right behind them. Oh, Ron's trying to get down here. I saw it right before I cut. Ron was trying to get down to that bottom. Almost pinched himself down a little bit too far. Because I have saw drivers do that. They'll pinch themselves down. They go like really, really pinch them down. Just try to cut the nose off guys trying to get in line. Because you do not want to be left running that outside line by yourself. You're going to have to looking really fast. Now you can lift, but that's something that you have to choose. And if you lift and it goes wrong, you are going to the back of that line, and that is very frustrating for some of these people. But the rant that I was going to mention earlier was, get a good camera here. So I don't know if y'all know this, but if you know, I think my tiredness is catching up with me. But if y'all have known anybody that has had to wear braces in their life, you have to wear retainers after that forever. Literally forever. And they do something weird to your mouth, and it just like makes your mouth dry. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's like a wet dry too. Cause like you can't lick your teeth either. You're just licking your retainer. It's one of the weirdest things, and And the retainer is only like Invisalign, but it's not Invisalign, it's retainer. It's just one of the weirdest things you would think of. Anyway, back to the race. It's kind of a sidebar there, one of my weird conversations. You are very lucky I don't do many of those with you because I don't think half of y'all be here. I'd be very confused. I'll lose you. Andrew, he's on the back of this. Christopher's actually the one in the very back. 906, he must have had something else. Looks like he has some front end damage. We'll go on the chase here. I think he does. Yeah, he does, I believe so. I'm not sure. I can't really tell if that's how the Ford's supposed to be on that or not. Even I'm confused on what that is. They're about in the halfway point of this race, lap 27. Well, halfway through that, it's about 27.5 is when they'll be halfway done with this race. They're running about 50-second laps currently. Andrew's going to lead the outside lane now. He's going to have Christopher Carter behind him. Andrew, he did actually watch me do a Daytona race that I somehow won. That one race I didn't get wrecked out in. That was a gift from God. Literally a gift from God. And Andrew disappears. He's back. He's Houdini. And this man's pulling a Houdini right now. No one knows where he is. He's getting the bump from the 23. 23's got to be careful with these bumps because it's just the rear end of some of these vehicles like to dance around. Now some of them are worse than the others. It really just depends whose rear end wants to do a little tango. Hey Matt, oh no, 17, don't come down. Andrew's really getting close there. Derek kind of around that high line. I don't think he wants to be around these guys right now. I don't blame him one bit either. I will back that audio off. That is much more acceptable now. I have to back it off even more. Lord. I know that 17 is not happy with Andrew being like this. You can't see Andrew half the time. He's like, where's Andrew at? And that he's realized that he does not want to be behind him at all. I'm talking to one of the customers right now. I will wait till we go on a... Hopefully, Andrew... As Andrew, he's having some connection issues there. Oh no, I just opened my crew chief. Thank God I opened on my other screen. As I made that grave mistake about 2 times now. And what I mean, you know, what I mean by that is, I accidentally opened a program on the bottom, and I had no idea until like a little bit later, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't know I did that. Andrew, he's making the outside lane work. I think he might have taken some tips from how he saw me running that A Open race. You ain't slick, Andrew. I saw that. Don't think that I didn't see what you were doing. Just thank God that Open on a different screen. 8's got a line. Little Ron yep, Ron's gonna let him down. He couldn't have. Oh, he's actually not gonna let Andrew down. Andrew kind of had to force his way in. I thought Ron let Andrew in, but evidently he did not. Well, Harper, he's been running out front so far. All right, you know, I know Harper's having flashbacks right now because he has been moved by Gary Whitaker as a joke. Andrew's just trying to get to the outside of 23. 23 goes to the bottom thing. He just weaves a little bit. Seeing Andrew doing that, he's been trying to get good runs. Now, if he does get a run, he has to get a absolutely massive run to go around these guys. It looks like he's been very fortunate that Ron is kind of letting him in, not really fighting him for that position. He's got to be careful with what he's doing, though, because if he doesn't find a spot back in line, you can see he's trying to side draft as hard as he can, get close, and get right away from the driver. Not working terribly for him, though. Oh, this is going to get... Oh, I don't like when drivers side draft so hard. Always gets on my... Oh, no. Andrew's so close on this guy. Everybody's running a big choo-choo train on the bottom. Literally everybody. They're going to run up on this 906 here. So he'll probably go a lap down very, very, very easily. Don't believe he'll mount much of a challenge to them at all. As Sheldon, I believe that may have been you. I will check the stream though now that you said that. I'll mute my mic for just a little bit. Back, oh, checking the stream. Almost bad as soon as I get back here. The 906 stays up high, but 71 could have kind of tail whipped in there. He's very lucky he didn't come up and make contact. They're a little bit past halfway now in this race, so y'all might be able to catch a lot of the Xfinity race after this. Hopefully, as I will know. I will not. I will be watching anime. Yes, I said that. I will own up to that. I don't care. I am not on watch right now. Oh, no, it's called ReZero. That's what it was. But Nathan, he's been having a clear path out in front of him for a while now. He hasn't had to deal with anybody at all, and that's kind of surprising to me. He's had Andrew try to battle him a little bit. But the biggest mover right now, it actually is Andrew. He is up about 11 positions. The next biggest is Derek and Nathan. They're tied for 10 positions gain. Nathan is sitting in the better spot, though, because he is the race leader, but he's got to be careful doing this. I know that drivers will probably try to come down pit road. I'd say, oh my gosh, they're putting a gap on these guys. I'd say maybe round 40, lap 40, if they can stretch their fuel that far. I don't think they can. No, they'll have to stretch this tank 27 laps. I don't think that they can. Leave these guys back here are starting to run a little bit half throttle to be able to make it longer than these guys. See, DeWeese, his fan page is tuned in. I know that he is currently running in 10th right now. He's kind of hanging in the back, not really done much yet. Is that something that you really need to do with these super speedways? I've learned that the hard way. Oh my gosh, it takes too early. As I've somehow managed to find how species have gone and evolved backwards when I see drivers run on or super speedways. I didn't think reverse evolution is possible, but it evidently is. When you put people on a super speedway, I think holding a line would be easy, but it's not. But these guys are literally running a snake pretty much. All in a line. Everybody's just deciding to do that. Raleigh's looking to the outside of Ron. Surprised Ron, with his damage, is able to stay up here. So I need to get a new chair because this is hurting my butt really badly. Oh my gosh. I'm in pain from this seat. See, they had a gap. I'm not sure if that was really them shoving. I think it may have been them shoving more than anything. But I'm kind of surprised they were able to do that. As I have, okay, good. That's great. I need to see. Looks like everybody's just deciding to run, in a line. This isn't bad. I mean, stretching their fuel a little bit longer. Might get an extra lap or two from doing this, I'd say. It'd be kind of hard to tell for some of these guys, though. Oh, yep, here comes the pits. I knew they were. So that's almost half the field that came down pit road. Everybody's got to get in clean and clean out. If you overslide one little bit, that's your race over. Andrew gets in there smoothly. The 71 of Derek Raleigh gets in there smoothly. Looks like nobody yet has missed their pit stall. It's like everybody got in there smooth. Good job from these guys. Andrew, he's going to be the first one out of pit road, so he gets a better pit stop than everybody there, but he's got to not get too far out because I saw the drivers getting off the pit road. They want to smash that throttle, and that's not one of the best things to do because you get too far out there, and then they mount a run, and they say bye-bye, and you're gone. You're kind of left out in the dust for a little bit. As I can already feel my throat going away, this is not very good, but hopefully it will last for 3 more days. Or at least till tomorrow. That's all I care about. So these guys coming off pit road. These guys are now coming down pit road. This is, I believe, 4 trucks. These are all teammates. Brian Buster, PJ Luttrell, Trevor Austin Roth, and Kenneth Stamper all came down. Kenneth misses pit stall, though. Uh-oh, that's not going to be good for him. That's probably going to take him out of contention here. A small little mistake mounts up to be a lot. Actually, no. He's able to get out and away pretty well. It's like I'm surprised he made it out the way that he did. Last 2 drivers that need to pit are Ian Martin and Braxton Deweese. They'll probably come this time by. They are actually going to stay out. Surprised by that. See, this is a group that pitted earlier. Let's see where these guys merge. I believe they're going to have too much speed to be able to really do anything. They're going to be held up. Yep, they're just going to go right around them, not pick up any of these guys in their draft. And I do not blame them as I have something in my eye. No, no. There we go. Get my actual glasses fixed. I have to wear goggles. They're trying to find the way in line. Had to go around these guys, but they luckily getting back in line. Ron, he was sadly not as fortunate as these drivers up here. He kind of got left out. So Ron's going to try to make that outside work. He's going to have no help just yet, though. So he's got to kind of be like, what do I do at this point? He's got more guys to join him. He's got PJ who's going to be joining him. Brian Buster's going to be coming also in the 906. He'll be joining them also. He is the first vehicle to lap down. So if the caution were to come out, he would get the lucky dog. But Ian and Braxton are finally down pit road here. They come out pretty much nose to tail. Let's see where they merge on these guys. They got to get off pit road like really fast now. They want to keep their foot to the floor. I need to edit that. See, looks like they merged. Actually, let's see, what's the time difference going to be made? I mean, they're going to get caught by these guys pretty fast. I mean, that's just but I believe they actually didn't do too bad on this. They really did not. I'm surprised by them. Very good job. Get away from me. I have stuff flying all around my face. I don't know how they got in here. About to kill him. I'm done with him. Looks like, yep, the second pack. I know they're going to come up here very soon. Looks like Andrew's going to have to tuck back down to the bottom there. But looks like Ian and Braxton pretty much timed this right so far. They're not, they're not in a bad position. They're definitely going to probably get passed by these guys. But I don't think that was bad overall for them, really. I really don't think that. Let me see. I can't find something that I need to here. Trying to search like an idiot. Oh, looks like what happened back here? These guys got broken up. I am not. Oh, we had an accident here. I was looking away for a second. We're gonna go and rewind that real quick here. I had looked away. What has happened with the 30? So somebody must have gotten turned here. Let's see what happened. Oh, yep, there was an accident. It was very far back. So the camera couldn't even see it. See what happens. 24 gets up on the wall. 11 slows down. 11 and 8, 9 into the wall. 30 drills them. So just drivers coming off that bottom, or the top of just a little bit, and drivers just can't check up in time. I did not expect that to happen, but PJ's gotten over here. Ron has now gone to the lead. I don't know where Ron came from now. Drivers are coming from nowhere. This is ridiculous. I will mute this, hopefully. So Andrew and Derek, how far back are they? Oh, they're gaining a lot of time though, so I don't think. Oh, Andrew, I know this is bad for these guys. Oh, Andrew can hook him. He's got to be careful, but they're gaining a lot of time with these guys in front of them. I don't think that it's enough. Now, if they do catch a little sniff of Autumn Koger in front of them, they'll be able to get the draft because they are definitely putting down some very fast laps here. But I think that these guys maybe on the edge of their fuel window, they're out far ahead enough that they're lifting just a little bit to save fuel. I will just make sure. It looks like at 906 he's a lap truck, so he's of course going to give way to these guys. He's not going to be trying to get in the way of these guys. He just wants to kind of get out. He's kind of like, oh well, I'll get out of the way for you. Looks like Ron might have came off the bottom there just a little bit. Braxton, he's now worked his way up to second. Oh, Whitaker almost gets turned. Riley's, where are these guys coming from? Oh my Lord. What? How did... That is the second time we have saw this tonight. We're going to go back and watch. What in the world? So Whitaker almost got turned. Okay, what in the... How are these guys doing this? Oh my gosh, Raleigh, just... I don't even know what to say about that. I really don't. What was that? And he's stretching, and he's pulling away from these guys. Are you kidding me? He was pulling away from these guys for a second. He's going to get caught now, but what? I don't know. What is going on? I'm confused on what just happened there. I really don't even know. I mean, Andrew did that earlier, then Derek does it. And what? Only thing I could think of is they're running half throttle. That's really the only thing I could think of, and he just doesn't lift, just decides to go like, no, I'm just gonna go right through him. Might as well. Just keep your foot in it. That is one of the weirdest things I've ever saw. That really is. What is that? What? I'm still trying to wrap my head around what I just saw. And he is pulling away. This does not make any sense. Now, I don't think Derek has enough fuel to the end at this point. I don't think that he does. He pitted on lap 32. They pitted on lap 14 last time, so he went about 18 laps. So he'd have to go 24 laps on fuel. So I don't think he has fuel to the end. So I think these guys are playing it smart back here lifting, but he has a 5-second lead. A 5-second lead over these guys. And he does have a drafting partner in the 906 of David McGuire. I'm so confused. I don't even know. Huh? These guys are kind of starting to form their own pack here. Ron, he can't hang on to these guys' draft. He's probably just there trying to get to Andrew. He might be close enough within about the next straight here. Now, the question is, I think these guys, they started to pick it up now. They're starting to catch Derek. They're like, yep, you got out a little too far ahead. We're actually going to go full throttle now. I believe they probably saw their fuel, and they're like, let's turn it up. Let's turn it up. Let's give it a little bit more. Hopefully that did not go on the screen there. The SDK just wanted to do that for half a second. I don't think I've ever saw a move like that. This driver just literally passed the whole field. Now, I'll tell you what, that is, if y'all know it, as I know, I wasn't even born at this time. Bill Elliott, the only person that's been able to do that is Bill Elliott at Talladega. He unlapped himself twice and then passed the rest of the field and won the race on his own. That was insane of him. I don't know how he did that. Yeah, but they're going to catch Derek here. Not a surprise to me. I knew he was going to get caught eventually. Definitely gave it a run for his money, though. But he's definitely not out of it at all. Because of course, he's the leader right now. Been drafting behind the 906. See what Ian Martin does. Will he line up with the 71? 71's going to stay bottom. These guys are going to go right around him. See Derek. Will he tuck in behind Andrew? I think that he will. He's got to hook with the 906. He'll kind of stay on that bottom for as long as he can. Doesn't want to get held up by him now. Braxton's made his way up to the front as Derek was not able to get around the 906 in time, so 906 has to... Oh, it's going to be weird. What's this lap truck going to do? Derek might want to go to the bottom now. Looks like he will. 906 probably stayed high for him. Going to slow up Andrew, though, so Derek's going to have to give Andrew a bump whenever he can get to him. Andrew might be letting the 906, and I believe he is. Doesn't want to get himself slowed down too much. Yeah, me neither, JP. I don't even know what I just saw there. At 906, he's probably trying to go to the outside. I don't know. I don't think they're really angered by him doing this. He is a lap truck, but he's not causing chaos. But we got the guys down pit road. 17, 23, 13, and 2 are all down pit road. So maybe their fuel was not going to make it to the end. They don't want to risk running out. So they go ahead and pit for safety. 89, he's down pit road because he has pretty heavy contact earlier. How's that? Oh, sorry. Hey. These guys are going to run in a line now. They might have a chance if they can do it right. I don't think that they can stretch their field this long, though. I mean, it's going to be difficult for them if they do try it. Now, Andrew, these guys also, they've kind of been reeled in by these guys. They're probably having to realize, I don't have fuel to the end yet. I'm going to have to be lifting and running half throttle. And maybe that's what Christopher and these guys were banking on. That coming down pit road, this will allow us to run full throttle, but they've only got 2 trucks with them, so this is actually going to end up hurting them more than anything. They needed the 2 and the 13 that they came down with to stay together, but they were not able to. They're actually going to get lapped here really soon. Surprised by that. Just thank God I do not come into work until 12 tomorrow. So I'm going to use up every second of sleep that I can on that day. I'll tell you that much. The 2 looks like she's trying to get her lap back. Trying to go around Andrew. She's got kind of no one there. Now, Andrew, he's got some damage from something here. I didn't see that earlier. Let's actually go look at Andrew. Hey, he's got some right side damage. They're going to go put the 906 3 wide. 2's going to be on his outside. Now, Andrew has to get past this 906 or else this is going to be bad. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Andrew, he was not able to get past either of these lap trucks. Now, he's got to be furious of what's going on now. If he does see he has a gap. Oh, they get turned now. 906 gets turned by Andrew. The 2 and gets involved in it. I believe it's only a 2-truck spin. It was. Somebody's going through the grass. Go back and look what happened here. Like Andrew might have actually gotten squeezed in the middle here. see. I'm going to go for my chase before I say anything. So, oh, I got to slow us down a little bit more to see. I don't want to call anything. Like Andrew comes down. The 906 comes up also. It's kind of just drivers meeting in the middle of a spot. And I believe I want to see who was the driver that went through the grass here. Because I saw somebody go through the grass. I believe that was, I'm not sure who that was. I didn't really see anybody go down there. The caution is out, so drivers will come down pit road. Now, this does play into the hands of Christopher Carter, Perry Whitaker, Nathan Harper, and Autumn. She will get back on the lead lap. But these guys pitted, so they have fuel to the end. They do not have to come back down pit road again. I was not there. Probably very, very happy about that. I don't know why my stuff in my tablet won't stream in 1080p all the time. It kind of annoys me a little bit. I did not use my tablet for much. The tablet's whole purpose is just to watch the stream, just make sure that's working correctly. Literally, that's the only thing that it does. But kind of a split decision down pit road. No, that drivers were in the accident will come down pit road, get their stuff fixed. I believe, where is Andrew at? He is in his pit stall. He takes his fast repair, get 4 tires, and he'll be out of here. As this is a very in-depth thing here. Holy crap. I don't expect this. Wow. Very in-depth here. While these guys are now under caution, I will roll some quick ads here for y'all. All right, we are back here at Talladega, and as you saw it last ad, use code 10GHOST at W. Checkout. It is an energy drink mix. When we were on break, I hopped into one of my friends' Discord, and I probably saw one of the weirdest things I think I've ever heard, which I did go to high school with these guys, so I don't know why it fazed me, but I don't swear, they do some weird stuff. Hopefully. Now, he may be watching this now, and I want you to know that I don't even know what you all were doing in there. They were listening to Garfield dancing for 3 hours straight. I don't even understand them. I really don't. They don't make any sense half the time. That's the truth. I mean, it really is. But the 98 of Ian Martin's going to be on the bottom. Braxton DeWeese of the 8 will be on the outside. The 11 of Brian Bussard on the bottom. Behind the 98, Braxton Heat will have E30 of Kenneth Stamper behind him. This resets the whole field now. This will not be a green-white checkered attempt here. It will be a normal attempt for these drivers. As Alex, dude, oh, you're so weird. God. Lights are off on the pace truck. This is a free-for-all at this point from these guys. Ian Martin's going to lead that outside lane. Braxton DeWeese going to lead that outside. Ian gets a good start. Brian, there's a gap. Braxton sees that gap, shoots that gap right behind Ian Martin. It's going to lead the 30th. Kenneth Stamper lead the outside lane. They do have some magic, but they're going to have to work it here very, very soon. As Whitaker is getting really held up back here. Ron has got to give him all he can. Looks like these two teammates hop up in that top lane. 30 gets the 11 behind him now. The 17 coming on the bottom with a push from the 13, followed by the 2. Who got back in the lead lap on that last caution. She was first car a lap down here. Oh, oh my Lord. How did he just drive out of that? We're going to have to go back and watch that. That man just put all the wheel that he can into it and kept that truck straight. That was amazing driving by Kerry Whitaker there. That man could have, that truck should be in the wall. But up front, Braxton shoving Ian right now. He's probably plotting his move. Christopher Carter, what's he going to do? Let's see if Braxton moves up. Sees that Christopher's moving up. He stays on the bottom with Ian Martin, so he's going to stay loyal to him. Have to hope these guys in the bottom lane will join. And they're all going to go to the outside lane now. They're not going to give these guys any help. Braxton has to shove 98 of Ian Martin as good as he can. That's all that he can do at this point now. He's in a very difficult position. They've got guys behind him with Ron Morris Jr. and Autumn on the bottom. Oh, Autumn gets loose. 17's gone out to the lead now. Now Braxton has to lay it to this 98, giving him all the shoves that he can. Get up off the bottom a little bit. This is where drivers shoving in the corners is not a good idea, and they know that. They can really get hooked. Whitaker gets a little bit loose on the outside. DeWeese wiggling around. White flags in the area here at Daytona. One more time around. Ian has to find something to weigh. Mount a challenge. They're going to go 3 wide. They're going to think about putting 17 3 wide. They're not going to be able to make it, though. Whitaker's going to squeeze up to the middle of 30s on the outside of him. Almost contact. Ooh, somebody's in the wall. Derek Raleigh just got sent to Mars. The action's up here right now. 17. You can lay back and get Whitaker with him. Braxton's going to look to the outside. 17's going to go to the outside now. Braxton tucks in behind the 98 Ian Martin. 8's got to hope the Auto can get there. 17's going to hope that the 23 can get there. This is where drivers are going to give their all. They're not going to lay off anything. The 30's going to try to squeeze in the middle. He's going to make it, though. He's going to shove Kerry Whitaker out now. Now what's the 30 going to do? That's Kenneth Stamper. He's kind of boxing. He gives the 17 a bump in the corner. 17 gets wiggling around now. Holds on to it. Now it's going to be a shoving battle down to the line. Side drafting hard. They may go 3 wide at the line. Ian Martin on the bottom. And it will be Ian Martin. They're 3 wide for second. That will be Braxton DeWeese. I can't really yell because it's late at night. We're wrecking after this. As we will actually go back and see Derek Raleigh get sent to orbit. That man crashed hard. And bye-bye, and there, oh my gosh, he flips. That man got tossed up in the air, lands on his hood too. That's a vicious crash for him. But Ian Martin comes home first, and a pretty small race, but still more money for him. Braxton DeWeese looks like he comes second. Christopher Carter comes third. So hopefully, I know the timings have been weird, but I believe that this should be the finishing position here for these guys. See, Braxton's going to burn it down also. Ian's got to be pretty happy with that. It was kind of definitely a smaller field. The payout's not going to be as big, but these guys will take home pretty good amount of money, and that's not something that you can really complain about, you know. So hopefully my voice is not going to be dead the next day. Wait, oh, what in the world has happened here? The 23 and the 8 make contact. Flip each other over. Kerry's just having some fun with it. I don't blame him. Pull up the race results here. Hopefully these race results have proven to be right, because it wants to show something completely different half the time. Yep, so that was correct this time, as SDK's decided to mess up just a little bit. But we will bring in the the 25 of Christopher Carter here. Let me dig him out of the Discord if he is in one of these rooms. Yep, he is. So let me take these out so I don't slur my words anymore doing this interview. But we will bring in Christopher Carter here. Hey, Christopher, this is Bryson Booth. You got a copy, man?
Kenneth, you know I love racing with you. That's why when I'm on iRacing, I see you got a room up. I always come in that thing.
As that he was not realize that I dragged him in there. So we will actually get um, the second place driver, Braxton DeWeese, and then we'll go and do Christopher Carter. Actually, looks like he's gotten in here now, so I think he is ready. So we'll do it in order like I normally should do. Hey, Christopher, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man?
Yes, I do.
Man, so you come home third. That was 3 wide out the finish. Just Braxton just barely edged you out, man. But how did the race go for you from the drop of the green flag to the checkered for you?
It was, I mean, we was pacing, just trying to find our spot there and take it easy. But it seemed like the front two lanes were being slowed down way too much. So me and Kerry was talking there about trying to take it 3 wide and get to the front. We carry our own pace, and Kerry went 3 wide and got into it with them and brought out that caution. And from that point on, I thought it was just going to be pure luck to finish.
Yeah, man, super speedways are always a place where it's just kind of like you're at the mercy of everyone else. But you were able to avoid most of that, and you were definitely, you were kind of there most of the night. So I knew that you had a chance. And that's the only, I think you're only your second race here, I believe. So it's definitely not gone bad for you so far, man. But before I let you go, is anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kerry and Autumn and Nathan for being in the room with us there, helping us. That was the team we threw together in the last second. As far as sponsors go, always Protos Towing and Gray's Assets and Recovery. And thank you for putting on the race and putting on the show, man. It's always fun.
All right, man. Well, I'll let you go, but good third place finish night. Might not be as much money as it normally is, but you still bring home a decent amount, man. Good job.
Yep. Thank you.
As that was Christopher Carter. We will now bring in Braxton DeWeese. Hey, Braxton, this is Bryson Booth. You got a copy, man?
Yeah, I hear you.
Man, so your fan page was tuned in. They were making comments in there, dude. So 3 wide at the line, you were able to get second. Describe that race, how it went from you for the drop the green flag to the checkered, man.
Well, me and Ian, we had that locked down on the fuel strategy. When you were probably seeing a bunch of goofy stuff going on, cars going slow, cars flying through, cars getting 2.5-second leads just by themselves. We were saving fuel a little bit just to make sure, but after a certain point, after we had pitted there at the last stint, we were like, you know what, they're 2.5 seconds. They're actually about 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds out. We were like, you know what, let's just go. Let's just get away from this slow guy that's slowing us up. I was like, Ian, let's just go and let's catch him. We're good enough on fuel, so I'm comfortable with it. So I mean, the whole race, me and Ian have been in this position before with HSR with the fuel strategy and how much the gallons and laps it takes to be able to run as long as you can and make the least amount of stops. If it went green there, you would have probably seen almost every single other person in the field other than me and Ian to pit. There was maybe one other guy, PJ, that he was really close on the fuel, but it definitely would have been really close. It was unfortunate that caution came out with Andrew and them. Andrew was in our group in our chat, and I'll be honest, we were getting on his butt about it, but it worked out in the end, and me and Ian powered off turn 4 and got that one too.
Yeah, man, they were. I saw those drivers shooting up through the field. I was like, what is going on here? So I definitely was curious. I knew it was going to be close on fuel, and you guys were kind of catching them and had to lay back a little bit. But before I let you go, is anybody you want to thank? Any sponsors you want to shout out that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
Oh, of course. Definitely everybody that tunes in and supports me every week. Big shout out to you guys. Hopefully we can get something going with an actual car at some point. Definitely getting to know more people down here in Charlotte. So hopefully we can get a connection and get with a team and whatnot and move on from there and actually get some real cars on the track. But big thanks to GP Diecast and Reaper Speed Lab. GP Diecast, one of the biggest supporters of me, as you've seen. If you need any diecast, whether that's NHRA, NASCAR, IndyCar, World of Outlaws, sprint cars, or late models, he's got them the 1/64 1/18 scale for the Indy cars only, and actually 1/18 for the sprint cars and Indy cars and 1/24. So big variety of selection there. You can go to www.gpdiecast.com for there. Smooth with the delivery and whatnot, but it's just very easy and whatnot because I've bought diecast and I collect them, so I like to have the easiest and quickest process to be able to get them, and he definitely has that. I want to give a big thanks to Reaper Speed Lab. Going to go for a championship in open league, so big shout out to them. They're definitely a big help. So definitely want to give a big shout out to the rest of the sponsors of Allen's Art Images, Blaze Designs, Rapid Response, Jeff Schmidt, Auto Group, Scott Martin that works there, Bennett's Publical, Ravenwood Enterprise, and everybody else that supports me and whatnot. I appreciate doing this and looking forward to possibly racing tomorrow. Going to be home back in Ohio next weekend, so we're not going to be doing any racing then, but hopefully we can get a win tomorrow or something.
All right, man. Well, good job taking home second, 3 wide, but you edged them out. So good. Well, actually, it's not as much money tonight, but you still do come home with a decent amount. But good job, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Sounds better than none. We'll take it, and we'll move on and see if we can be one spot better and hopefully flip-flop me and Ian next time.
All right, man. Well, I will let you go then.
Appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
As that was Braxton DeWeese. You saw me hit a button on my mouse that made it sensitivity go really low, so I had to show the overlay there for just half a second. We'll bring in the race winner in Ian Martin here. Hey, Ian, this is Bryson Booth. Got a copy, man? I'll wait for him here. See if he'll might have went away from his computer there for just half a second. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, man. So you come home first, and you had Braxton behind you, so I know you felt pretty safe. But man, describe how that race went for you from the drop of the green flag to the finish, man.
Well, obviously me and Braxton were working together there, and we got that early caution around lap 10 to 15 around there, and from previous races we figured we could split it directly in half and make it to the end on one stop, which was the plan, and me and him were able to execute it perfectly. Came out ahead of the field and literally drove half throttle the whole time to compensate in case we had a green-white checkered. So, I mean, we worked it perfectly to plan, and then that caution came out with Andrew and the 2 lap cars, which, was very, very frustrating, to say the least. I won't go into detail, but me and Braxton were not the happiest cats because, we were the only 2. There might have been one other that could make it on pit strategy, but he had to have saved the entire fuel run, and I know he hadn't. But me and Braxton were golden, and that caution came out and scared the heck out of us. But we managed to make it work. I really appreciate Braxton for sticking to my bumper on that 3-lap dash. If it wasn't for him, wouldn't be talking to you right now because anyone else would have stepped out right there. But he stuck to my bumper. I'm glad he got P2 out of it, just as we should have. If it would have went green there, I believe we would have finished the same way. If not him in victory lane. So appreciate Braxton pushing me there.
I know Braxton was working with you, and I know you probably felt very safe having him behind you, man. But before I let you go, is anybody you want to thank any sponsors you want to shout that may have been watching the stream here tonight?
For sure, want to give a shout out to Hall Sheet Metal Heating and Air Conditioning out of Merced, California. If you're in need of any residential or commercial heating and air conditioning units, please reach out to them. Ken Farmer's a big help to my iRacing journey, I guess you could call it. He supports me a ton, so if you're in the area and you need any of that stuff, please reach out to him. And obviously, once again, thanks to Braxton, working together. You said I was comfortable with him pushing, but I was holding on for dear life. That guy does not lift, so I was holding on tight.
Yeah, man, he's giving you all the shoves that he can get, and that's just how Super Speedway is. Last lap, you're like, all right, bump me, and you got a death grip on that steering wheel, man. But you come home first. It's not as much of a pot as it normally is, but you still get a decent amount of money, man. But good job tonight, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. As that was Ian Martin, the guy that won the race. I will go through the finishing order here. Ian Martin first, Braxton DeWeese second, Christopher Carter third, Kenneth Stamper fourth, fifth was Ron Morris Jr., sixth, Kerry Whitaker, seventh, PJ Luttrell, eighth, Nathan Harper, ninth, Andrew Santo, 10th, Derek Raleigh, 11th, Brian Buster, 12th, Autumn Koger, 13th, David McGuire, 14th, Trevor Oceanroth, 15th, Austin Green. Those were all the guys that raced here tonight. So not a bad race overall for sure. Some cautions here and there, but it really wasn't a caution fest. And Daytona seems to be, a trouble trial track is what I call it. Talladega seems to be just a little bit better for that, but guys were able to make it through. But a good race overall. And HSR, they will be back here tomorrow, I believe. Let me check for you real quick. I'm not pretty sure. They will be at Talladega tomorrow. Okay, I'm just making sure. They'll be at Talladega tomorrow, so if y'all want to tune in for more of those races, I'll have one tomorrow late in the day. Also, I know it will be, I think, starting at, I need to look at this again and be pretty sure. Green flag will be at 9:35, so we'll be able to watch some of the normal Cup Series race. And then on Sunday, of course, it will not be me broadcasting. I will be broadcasting a different race. It will be a 400-mile race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So hopefully that doesn't turn into a wreck fest, because that will be very boring, but it shouldn't be too bad. But I will run these ads, and I will let you all go.